Martin looking. Here's Clark. She fires, and it goes! She hit it! Wow! And a legendary career adds another page in the legend.
He's very willing and capable of pushing in transition and scoring quickly.
Here's Clark working around Fletcher. Caitlin Clark has Iowa on the board first. Saxton has the position inside, surrounded and just taken away by Sonato. Clark the get-ahead right in the lap of Warnock for two. Foul was on Saxton. South Carolina, a very deep team. Clark looking to turn the corner, lays it in through the contact for Caitlin Clark. Aya Cook off to a terrific start here in the semifinals. Clark will fire and hit from three.
With this giant lineup inside.
Clark turns the corner and lays it in. 9 points for Caitlin Clark.
He's done the work, and Zia Cook has been the mentally strong player here in the first quarter.
Clark, great look. Sonato lays it in.
To orchestrate, make beautiful passes that lead to easy.
Carolina, unlike most teams that make it this far, are extraordinarily deep. Sonato lays it in on the delivery from Clark. And unlike Boston, Clark is going to remain on the floor. Clark fading and hitting. Sydney a falter, gets it in the arms of Clark. Clark gets it across the timeline. A deep three is good.
You try to deny Caitlin Clark the basketball because with it in her hands, her range is almost limitless. This is good defense by Raven Johnson. Caitlin Clark.
Clark dumps it to Sonato on the roll, serves it in. Standing crew, including Carolyn Peck, honored at halftime, headed to the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. So will she someday. Caitlin Clark buries the three. First three of the game for South Carolina. Stolke running on the other end, lays it in on the dime from Clark. Clark has 2 fouls herself as Marshall comes back for the steal. Here is Clark. Clark spinning into the paint, gets to the cup, and reverses it in. Of Marshall. Here is Clark. Clark goes around Fletcher. The leaner is good. Delivering tonight. Caitlin Clark continues to shimmer. 23 points, 7 assists.
The overpowering size and strength of South Carolina at every position.
Clark has the mismatch. Oh, Caitlin Clark. Now you see her, now you don't.
Great give and go between your big 6'7" Cardoso, easily passing it over to 6'5" Boston.
Clark gets a clean look and knocks it down. Clark, eyes up, using the screen from Sonato, bounces to her on the roll for two. Here's Clark. A deep one. You bet! Caitlin Clark!
With 31 points, you know she loves the right to left crossover. We've seen multiple times in this game the defender right there, and it still results in 3.
Clark burning by Beal. Caitlin Clark lays it in. Clark curling around. Clark trying to work around Beal. She does. Caitlin Clark has 35. Clark got it. A 40-point semifinal for Caitlin Clark. This to make it a 2-possession lead again. Oh, yeah. Martin gets it into Clark. Clark races away, and the mythical mastery of Caitlin Clark continues. Iowa has conquered South Carolina.
Davis, time winding down. Are they going to get the ball up in time? Clark for the win. Yeah!
Logo threes. It's her signature. That is the most Caitlin Clark way to win.
Recovered by Gabby Marshall. Here comes Clark. How will she go for history? There it is! The all-timer in women's college basketball. This crowd, wow, in only ways that Caitlin can.
Caitlin Clark now has 3,528 points in her career. She has officially broken Kelsey Plum's record from 2017. A post-game celebration will occur immediately following the game. Let's hear it one more time for number 22, Caitlin Clark.
She wanted to get it from the logo. Caitlin Clark on a mission.
The most Caitlin Clark way to get a bucket. I mean, we are talking well inside the middle of the Mediacom logo. You have a hand down when she crosses half court. Caitlin Clark has been making people pay since her freshman year in Iowa City. This shot is an elite shot, a layup for Caitlin Clark. Nobody else in the country that's an elite shot for. There are different rules for Caitlin Clark.
The rebound. Clark trying to go for more. Yes!
They have come out on fire. Caitlin Clark using her vision, arguably the most valuable part of her game. That ability to get the ball in her teammates' hands in positions to score. And she can also keep it for herself, understands angles at a high.
Caitlin Clark loves these situations. She times them out, sets her feet, catch!
Cameron Williams is coming off a massive game for Michigan. She was 23 points, 3 rebounds.
Again! Stop it!
Right now, she is putting on a complete and utter show. That's the same spot she broke the record with, by the way, folks. Layup, and that's her signature.
Math, but I use a calculator sometimes. That's 4.5 games. Keep it coming.
How finding her balance.
It's up. It's good.
Caitlin Clark in rhythm. That's the difference between Caitlin Clark.
Clark to the rim.
A blue jersey has to come over.
All of this into perspective and shout out her teammates as she goes for a 30-piece. 31.
And they could get the ball inside, but it's difficult to have success against Caitlin Clark when she gets the ball in these types of situations. A little bit of a handoff. Can't go under any sort of, but it's made a world of difference. And talking to different Big Ten coaches, they have all said Iowa has improved drastically defensively.
8 threes for Caitlin Clark.
Moving without the ball is massive. Ophelia gets stuck there a little bit on the screen, comes back to guard her. Clark's ability to create space.
Clark has Woodson on her. Little step back, then goes right back to the cup. Oh! Talking about hot sauce, that's spicy. 45 points. Ties a career high. Both times she's had 46 points.
Made boosting signature win against Ohio State earlier this season.
A new career high. A new Iowa women's basketball record. We're going for them all.
That it could not be more in rhythm for Caitlin Clark, coming off 1-2 step, Sierra style, shoulder squared, feet set. And she just set all sorts of records this evening.
Let's hear it for her. growing up in Cedar Rapids. Now Caitlin at the line. For the record. She ties it with that one. This for college basketball history. She does it with a foul shot. Caitlin Clark becomes the all-time leading scorer in major college basketball history. Passing Pistol Pete Maravich.
The most important things for Iowa in this game is to be able to secure defensive boards. LSU, an outstanding offensive rebounding team.
Clark connects. This game, Iowa a 4-point lead as we send things over to Holly Rowe. Feel confident in her mid-range.
And I think Iowa is okay giving up the mid-range.
Here's Clark driving in for two. Hit by Iowa.
We saw this a lot in the Sweet 16 game against Colorado. Caitlin Clark turning the corner and finishing an
career that's third most amongst active players. Clark backdoor, Martin, easy two. This Poa, who drew 2 offensive fouls on Clark in last year's national championship game.
She has more size and length.
Clark, you bet! O'Grady spelling Stolke, back to Clark. Clark bounces off, Martin fires, and hits! Huge three there for the freshman Williams. A Folter running the other way, lays it in. Clark again with the get-ahead pass, and Kim Mulkey trying to call a timeout. 3:30 to go in the first quarter. Clark looking to turn the corner, lays it in, plus the foul.
In terms of her balance, getting threes from the perimeter and then opportunities for threes in the paint. Gets clawed on the screen.
An 8-point LSU lead. Clark through traffic, finds a Folter. She hits a big one for the Hawkeyes. And Iowa with numbers. Here's Clark. Catch, fire, and hit. Running. Clark eyes up behind the back, through the lane, lays it in. Here's Clark. Clark bounces away, 5 to shoot, shovels back. O'Grady, sure. A trip to the Final Four at stake. Clark was trying to redirect a pass. Clark, oh my, from Schenectady.
Caitlin Clark here, Haley Van Lith right there, but you're never right there when it's Caitlin Clark.
From Johnson and Fine from Reese.
Defense for them in the first half.
Here's Martin running to the floor and lays it in on the dime from Clark. Clark wheels around, evades Van Lith, and drains it. My goodness.
No other player has done before. Logo, left, 3, like
she got an IV because she's been so sick before that UCLA game. That's how sick she was. Clark! She's possessed.
Distance on these Caitlin Clark threes. It's just ridiculous.
There's Martin. Clark, again coming off the screens. Clark steps back, fires. You bet!
Times when you just can't avoid talking about length, hand in her face, drains it anyway.
Here's Clark. Will she pull up? Finding a Folter who lays it in.
Relenting schedule. None of what you're seeing tonight should surprise you because she's been doing it all season.
Oh, what a pass! Clark to O'Grady for the throw with 12 points, 12 rebounds, playing in her first Elite 8 game. Clark again! Clark finds Martin. Martin digs in and lays it home. 10th assist for... Here's Clark. Clark pulls up, another deep one. Is good! Here's Stolke, back to Clark. Stolke lays it in, plus the foul. Leading by 10 and in trouble here. Clark has to get it across, finds Martin, who waits, now lays it in. Iowa trying to get to the Final Four for the 3rd time in program history. In a rematch with LSU, Clark evades. That will do it. This time, it's Iowa. The Hawkeyes are headed back to the Final Four. Galactic greatness